Welcome to the CU Flex. I'm your host, Philip Dukes, aka DukesTheScoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at DukesTheScoop. And as always, the CU Flex is brought to you by Well Off Media. Deion Sanders Jr. just celebrated a birthday. Happy birthday, big dog, the CEO. And also, I'm in my Well Off Forever hoodie. You feel me? The rejected will be respected. Let's get into the respect thing. Man, last week, you lose to Kansas. Everybody's, oh man, not everybody, hold up. Non-believers. People there just for the move, not the movement, like I said before. Doom and gloom and, oh man, there's nothing to play for. There was so much to play for. First of all, some people say it's the end of an era, right? When you got Shador and you got Travis and you got the other seniors that'll be going to the next level. But it was also a passing of the torch. It was also not just, in order to have a legacy, something has to change. Everything after you can't be the same in order for people to appreciate what you've just done. So I think everybody will appreciate what Travis and what Shador have done, what Shiloh has done. The transfer portal additions, what they have done. A 9-3 season. Nobody expected this outside of people who already knew what Colorado had. But in the national media, I would struggle to find anybody who had Colorado with 9 wins. All right. And the reason being, because some people only had Colorado at 7 wins, 8. I was in that boat. You had some people who had Colorado at 2 and 3 wins. That wasn't a Colorado thing. That was a Coach Prime thing. But regardless, Colorado has exceeded so many expectations that it's insane. Coach Prime once said he had somebody on my behalf. How you like him now? So I'm going to return the favor to Coach Prime. Man, how you like him now? Man, 9-3 and really control their destiny for a good period. They were really this close to crashing the playoffs. Something that people said at the beginning of the season, yeah, right. When Shador went out and said every game is going to be somebody else's Super Bowl, people were saying in the national media, yeah, right. How you like him now? People were doing mock drafts and not even having Shador in the first round. How you like him now? Travis Hunter shouldn't win the Heisman. He's mid. How you like him now? The transfer portal additions were rejects. How you like them now? Yeah, man. I feel that. Because when you prove it in a way that is not only on the football field, when you look at the graduation rate, you look at how they study, you look at the financial impact that has come to the community, the surrounding areas, when you look at the national brand of Colorado, when you look at African-American applications to Colorado go up over 50%, you're doing so much more than what was expected. But not only are you doing so much more than what was expected, you're doing more than what was required. All you're required to do is win football games. And you did it your way. Coach Prime can't recruit high school. How you like him now? Hey, listen, that's the catchphrase. How you like him now? Last year we talked about the transfer portal. This year, there are going to be guys that could have came to Colorado last year who won't be able to come this year because the cupboard ain't empty. Now Colorado has a roster, a Power 4 roster, where they're going to battle attrition at a rate like more Power 4 schools. Previously, they were battling the attrition of a 1-11 team. No disrespect to anybody who was on that team. But it wasn't just all on the coaches. The talent wasn't there. The same, and you know, they got on Coach Prime about his Louis luggage. Bruh, if it's Louis, it's Louis. It wasn't a flea market deal. You know what I mean? That was real Louis. You see it now. 2 Heisman candidates. Can you imagine? One school saying, hey, if going into the transfer portal, you're guaranteed a Heisman. If you were guaranteed a Heisman candidate, a team, a top 3, a Heisman finalist. Let me get that right. A team would, in this day and age, would be willing to break the bank if they knew that you were going to be a Heisman finalist. What do you think somebody would say for 2 of them? Oh, we're going to give you 2 Heisman finalists and a winner. What just happened at Colorado is something that could never be replicated. It could never be duplicated. And we just watched history. But this is the thing. It ain't over. It ain't over. Shedeur Sanders handing the keys to the car to Julian Lewis, 5-star Julian Lewis, ESPN's number 2 player at quarterback. Okay? For him to create his own legacy. For him to write the next chapter in his book. One of the most talked about recruits, isn't it? I mean, literally, announced on Pat McAfee. It don't get much bigger than that. Then you look at some of the guys who are look at the guys, and this is something important when we talk about how you like Colorado now. When you look at the success of guys who came over in the portal that now have shown proof of concept to say that if you come to Colorado, and we're talking about guys that's going to get league looks now, come to Colorado, get the exposure, get your bag, and get your film. If you can play, you can play. It don't matter. Freshmen, if you can play, you can play. It don't matter. Randomly, see, I'm from Atlanta, as most of you know, and people randomly, when they want to mess with me, they shout out 2 numbers, 28 and 3. Talk about my Falcons. But for Colorado fans, when you get around some of these college football blue bloods who have fans that thought that Deion Sanders wasn't good enough for their program, I just want you to randomly say, hey, do me a favor, just say 9 and 3, especially to the ones who don't have 9 and 3 records this year, especially to the ones that won't be going to a bowl game. No shade, maybe a little, but it's the truth. Colorado has set itself up in a cycle of repeatability. You can see Colorado as a playoff contender year in and year out. In the Big 12 Conference, Colorado is going to be one of that basically there isn't another team in the Big 12 that can recruit with a national imprint that's going to have players from all across the country, whether it be transfer portal. Well, actually, let's not go transfer portal. Let's just go high school, because that's what they want to talk about. So Colorado is going to finish either 1 or 2 in the Big 12 in recruiting. When they were 15th and 14th, because Coach Prime was getting, he was doing it his way, you hear all the naysayers that he'll never be able to win without recruiting high school at the same rate as some of these other guys do. But Coach Prime has a different boss. He's upstairs. And went to a different school. Understanding that Coach Prime has done things differently in his way the whole time, and he's been a winner. And one thing about it I will say about Coach Prime is he isn't above reproach. He's not too wise for wise counsel. So he looks at his approach, and he goes back and he watches. And he says, I could have done this differently. I could have done this differently. He's never claimed to be perfect. But if you prepare for perfection, even when you miss, you're still among greatness. That's what makes him great. What he's built in that program. When you talk about the hires that he made on staff, when you talk about the transfer report, the evaluation, I love to talk about the fact that Coach Prime doesn't get the credit that he deserves for developing not only the presumed #1 draft pick in this year's draft, he's also developed his son, which is one of the hardest things to do. And he's done it since he put a football in his hand. Start to finish. We're talking about a guy that the recruiting rankings said wasn't a 4-star at times. Some people had him at a 4, and those were smart people. But for those who had him at a 3-star, oh man, and they have put that Deion Sanders hate on him. The boy's about to be the #1 pick overall in the draft. And I don't think Coach Prime gets enough credit for his development of a quarterback. So now you get to see the cycle become repeatable when you've got a guy who some of the other ranking sites say, oh, no, he can't do it. They hated on the man, okay? Been #1 quarterback, reclassed up, still a top flight quarterback. But now you get to see Deion start to develop him, not just on the field. Coach Prime can develop him not just on the field, but off the field. 2 Heisman candidates that he's led. #1 draft pick, #2 draft pick. Now he's got proof of concept. 5-star, Jordan Seaton. Could have went to any school in the country. Came to Colorado, played, true freshman. Brought a walk-on from that same school who played really well down the stretch and started some games for you. Coach Prime is telling recruits, whether it be high school or transfer portal, we know what to do, dog. We're set up for success. How you like them now? We didn't even talk about the game. 52-0. Where my belt? Hey, 52-0. They thought them boys was washed. They thought it was over. Shador 400 yards passing. Multiple 100-yard receivers. They took them boys to Krispy Kreme. They gave them a donut. 0. Do you know how hard it is? Shout out to Robert Livingston. Do you know how hard it is to tell a team that's been putting up the points to wait, even though they weren't having the best season, to tell a team you're going to come in here, you're not going to score, and you're going to like it? That's tough. That's tough business, dog. I want to give a shout out to the Colorado faithful who believe. I want to give a shout out to the staff. I want to give a shout out to the seniors. I want to give a shout out to everybody involved in what we just saw. And the season is not over. Colorado is approaching a 10-win season. 1 year, 1 full year removed from coming off a 1-11 season. Colorado fans, you deserve it. Last thing I'm going to say. I think it's so impressive in this era that Coach Prime has the ability to say, no opt-outs, dog. We're not doing that. It not only does it speak to a program that people said that he didn't have control over, that guys were just going to be leaving left and right. The only way that Coach Prime can say no opt-outs for real, these guys want to play together. The culture that they've set up at Colorado is incredible. And so kudos to the fans, kudos to the players. And I'm gonna say it one more time. You got a lot to look forward to. How you like them now? That's my time. See you next week.